Subscribe now. EU Debates.
It gives me a very great pleasure to give the floor to the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Alexandrovich Zelensky. Thank you very much, dear Chairman of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, dear Prime Minister of Ukraine, dear Parliament members of Ukraine, dear all guests present in this session room. The new history of Ukraine and the EU has started. We are not close. We are together now. We are close neighbors. We are not the close neighbors, but we are one European families with shared values and shared faith. These are not the words. These are not declaration. This is not the expectation or political hope. This is already legally fixed status. Ukraine has received the status of the candidate states to EU membership. 115 days lasted from giving the application and response of the EU. This is the record short time. We were very together in order to act together, in order to defend ourselves. And we were defending together, working together to defend our land. We were not stopping for any second before the EU Council has passed the positive decision. And we will not stop for a second before we receive our victory, the victory of Ukraine. We are aware that the EU integration of Ukraine, this will give generations of Ukraine the better life based on the best human values. This is the honor. This is the responsibility for all of us to participate in the implementation of European aspirations of our state. What is 115 days? A lot of things were taking place in those days. Hundreds of negotiations, meetings, concerts, different rallies to support Ukraine and our candidate status. Hundreds of approved decisions, hundreds of updated procedures, and thousands of perfectly filled out questionnaire which we have received from the EU Commission. All this was not easy, but we have done it, and congratulations, we did it. We have created an extremely solid foundation which will not be ruined by anybody, and which will be used as the foundation for our European future. Our European future is transformed into our current days. Ukraine is fighting for the future in order to live in the free European family. Ukrainians have the weapons in their hands in order to protect their independence and safety and security of each our person, in order for Ukrainian mornings to start not so tragically as started today's morning with the missiles attack on Odessa and Odessa region. Today's morning started with a lot of victims. We want the mornings of Ukraine to become as peaceful as the mornings of each European capital in the 21st century. I want very much that everybody who is taking their official positions in Ukraine now would work for European choice of Ukraine as the fight for our state, for us, all of us. We need to prepare our state for the beginning of negotiation of EU membership as intensely as we were preparing the decisions on the status of candidate. Today, in this session, the flag of EU will be brought into this room, into this session room of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine. And this must not be just merely a beautiful symbol or gesture. This must be the symbol of our task, the task for all of us, for all branches of power in Ukraine, for us to avoid any pauses or any delays in our work, for each decision which is required for Ukraine, for EU path of Ukraine to be passed in time. And these must be the decisions which will be positively felt by Ukrainian society, Ukrainian families, Ukrainian people. EU membership is not geopolitics or implementation of some political aspirations. These are specific things, specific advantages which are bringing benefits to the life of each person in Ukraine, each company in Ukraine, each state institution in Ukraine. Recently, we have introduced visa-free transportation, the aerial visa-free transportation. We have received maximum access to European market without quotas or customs. We joined the European energy grid. Now we can export electricity to the EU member states. This is the revolutionary decision for our economy and our state. And we are waiting for customs visa-free regime and digital visa-free regime for Ukraine to join the program Digital Europe. We need to accelerate the industrial visa-free regime. And of course, we need to make decision about canceling the roaming fee for Ukraine between Ukraine and the EU states on permanent basis. European paths, these are the decisions which are enhancing our state and each of you, because all these decisions create the opportunities for all Europe to implementation of Ukrainian potential makes Europe stronger together with Ukraine. A lot of decisions will depend on the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, on each parliament member of Ukraine, on how well you, the parliament members, are ready to work on these decisions, and how ready are you to coordinate your work with the government of Ukraine, with our diplomats. The association agreement between Ukraine and EU has been implemented by 63%, 37%. These are the tasks for all of us, for all our state. But you, dear parliament members, you need to develop and defend and pass dozens of very important draft laws and laws. This will not be easy, but there is no alternative to that. And even if you know that there will be not some of your decisions will not be applauded, but this decision is required and needed in order to go through this difficult and important path of Ukraine, you must pass such decisions. Today, we are signing joint statement, which is a signal of unity of all branches of power and the evidence of our determination to achieve the strategic goal of Ukraine, which is the full membership in the European Union. Signing of this statement has the same importance as the importance of signing this application for joining to EU on the 5th day of the war. It took us 115 days to receive the status of candidate state to the EU membership. Our path to the full membership should not be lasting for dozens of years. We must go through this path as quickly as possible, and it depends on us how quickly we shall move. We must do our work perfect in order to enable our friends in the EU in the same very fast and consolidated fashion and manner to approve yet another historic decision. We shall sign. And now I would like to ask the chairman of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine and the dear Prime Minister of Ukraine, and now please applaud.
Дякую. Шановні присутні, сьогодні я
Dear all, I want to thank all European people, each European leader who supported the candidacy of our state to the EU membership. I want to thank them very much indeed.
стільки переговорів.
A lot of negotiations during such a short time frame. This is the record thing. But all these meetings and negotiations were very topical and very well thought through. Sometimes they were challenging. I want to thank all of you. Thank all those present in this session, all members of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. Thank you very much. I want to thank each person, and each person knows that it was a difficult and challenging work which resulted in success. And a great personal contribution was made by the great friends of Ukraine who are and who will continue to be our friends. This is the President of the EU Council, Charles Michel, and the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen.
І сьогодні
And today I have the honor to
Верховній Раді України
give the floor to make the presentation and speech in the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine, Mrs. Ursula. Mrs. Ursula, I want to thank you once again for your leadership in the building of this powerful historical relationship between Ukraine and Europe. And this relationship is a new history for Ukraine, a new European history, joint European history and Ukraine. Glory to Ukraine. And the floor is given to Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen.